Fun with Stories. This podcast contains audio advertising. To hear it without ads, download the Fun with Stories app now. Welcome to Fun with Stories, the podcast where words come to life through exciting adventures and laugh out loud moments. Every episode, we take a tricky word, throw it into a fun-filled story featuring your favorite fairy tale and folk story characters, and make sure you'll never forget it. So, are you ready to learn new words the fun way with Little Red Riding Hood, Puss in Boots, the Gingerbread Man, Snow White, and more? Then let's jump into today's adventure on Fun with Stories.
The winter that waited, a girl, a snowless winter, and one glowing memory. When the snow returns, so does the magic, and Nora learns what it means to make joy last.
In the cheerful town of Pineberry, December came and went, but something was missing. The shops played jingles, scarves and mittens lined the streets, but the sky? Just gray and dry. No snow? Nora sighed as she looked out the window. Even the snow globe looks more exciting. Usually, by mid-December, her backyard would be covered in white. That's when she and her big brother Jude built their favorite place, the Winter Kingdom, with snowy forts, cocoa tents, and their famous sled ramp, Avalanche Alley. But this year, no snowflakes had fallen. And Jude? He was away at boarding school. Well, but it's not the same. Neighbors asked, "No Winter Kingdom this year?" Nora forced a smile. Still waiting on the snow. At bedtime, she curled under her blanket and remembered last year. "These are our Halcyon days," Jude had said, holding a cocoa mug with whipped cream on his nose. Halcyon means a time in the past that was wonderfully calm, happy, and successful. Nora whispered the word out loud. Halcyon. She wasn't sure if it made her feel better or worse. Then, on a Thursday in mid-January, it happened. She woke to silence, the good kind. Snowflakes fell in thick, steady waves. Trees were frosted. The yard was white and untouched. Nora raced down the stairs and shouted, "It's back! The kingdom can return!" This time, she wasn't waiting. She was leading. She pulled out signs, mugs, glittery sleds, and drew a new poster. Winter Kingdom returns. Sled races, cocoa, snow art. Sunday at noon. Everyone welcome. She worked for 2 days, rebuilt Avalanche Alley, crafted cocoa flags, wrote Jude an update. The Halcyon magic is still here. Sunday came. Kids arrived in layers and laughter. Maisie brought marshmallows. Tyler helped patch the snow fort roof. Even Mr. Lindy wore earmuffs and served snowball cookies. Avalanche Alley was alive again. That evening, Nora stood atop the hill, cheeks cold and heart warm. It felt like the old days, she whispered. Maybe another Halcyon memory. Later, during dinner, Jude video called. "I saw the photos," he grinned. "It looked like one of those Halcyon days again." Nora nodded. Halcyon means a time in the past that was wonderfully calm, happy, and successful. And I think I just made one without you this time. Mom walked in with a steaming mug and added, "The word Halcyon comes from a Greek tale about a bird that calmed the sea while nesting. That's why people say Halcyon days when everything feels safe and joyful." That night, Nora looked out the window again. The yard glowed under the moon, sprinkled with cocoa cups, boot prints, and tiny snow forts. She smiled. Halcyon means a time in the past that was wonderfully calm, happy, and successful. And this one, today, will stay with me. Some memories melt with the snow, but Halcyon ones never really fade. It's recap time. Let's remember the new word we learned today. Spelling: Halcyon. Halcyon. Meaning: Halcyon means a time in the past that was wonderfully calm, happy, and successful. Synonyms: peaceful, joyful, calm, golden. Antonyms: stressful, stormy, chaotic, troubled. Examples: last summer at the lake felt like a halcyon time. Everything was calm, warm, and full of laughter. Looking at old photos of our holiday, I remembered those halcyon days with a smile. So remember, halcyon means a time in the past that was calm, happy, and successful, like a peaceful golden memory.
And that brings us to the end of today's adventure. We've explored a brand new word, had some fun with our favorite storybook characters, and now it's your turn to use it in real life. Want more fun stories and exciting words to learn? Download the Fun with Stories app for extra content, activities, and even more magical word adventures. Thanks for listening, and remember, words are powerful when you make them yours. See you next time on Fun with Stories.